Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Justice League Monday. Still rocking a little bit of hoarseness in my voice. I apologize for that. We have made it through the month of January to Justice League number 4, August of 1987. Booster Gold battles alone for the future of the Justice League by Giffen, DeMatteis, McGuire, and Gordon. I remember that when DC started putting people's names on covers. So, if you recall last issue, Maxwell Lord showed up with Booster Gold in tow. He is trying to insinuate himself into the Justice League, and they're not real happy. Major security breach, so Batman is PO'd. He wants to know what's going on. Who is this guy? They've got some data on him. He was apparently born April 1st, 1951 in New York. And so they have a little info on this guy, but who is he? How did he get in here? Guy Gardner doesn't care. He's bored. Can we get this over with already? So Batman, again, wants some answers. And he has to, once again, threaten Guy Gardner, who does the, oh, I'm shaking in my boots. And well, in a few issues, well, you'll find out. So it is disturbing, though, that this guy has gotten into their secret base. He apparently knows more about them than they know about him. And so Batman and the Martian Manhunter are going to go deal with Maxwell Lord and Booster Gold and also Dr. Light, who Maxwell Lord invited to join the Justice League. So they're waiting like in this library. Booster Gold saying, they've been in there a long time. Patience, Booster. It will all work out in the end. You're very smug, Mr. Lord. That's coming from Dr. Light. You're also a fraud and a liar. How now, Dr. Light? Such vitriol. You came to me claiming to represent the League when you had no connection with them. You gave me this bogus signal device. First of all, it's not bogus. It's a copy, in all ways superior to the original. Second of all, I have a master plan for you, for Booster, for the League. When my plan finally comes together, you'll see that the ends justify the means. Who the hell do you think you are? Why, Maxwell Lord, of course. Who do you think you are? And of course, that is the signal device being thrown at him. Can I consider that an answer? So basically, Dr. Light says, I quit. She leaves. He's like, no, don't worry. If we want her back, we'll get her. At which point, Batman, the Martian Manhunter, and Mr. Miracle enter the room. Let's get a closer look. Oh, did a good job there, didn't I? Here we go. There we go. That's nice. Batman clearly in a good mood. Don't worry, Booster. Easy for you to say. Well, gentlemen, what do you think of your newest member? Isn't he simply, and you see Batman just stares him down. You're upset, Batman. I could see that. You're very perceptive. Let's talk about this like reasonable men, but I'm not a reasonable man. Where's Dr. Light? She had to leave, but she'll be back, if you want her back. She's not really that important after all. It's Booster Gold you need. And Booster Gold, who's going to kind of get played more for a joke as the series goes on, but not so much here. Shut up, Max. Just shut up. And so he basically says, look, I'm doing fine on my own. If you don't want me in the League, you ain't going to have me in the League. It's no big deal. And he does say, though, as he's leaving, oh, and good luck with your master plan, Max. You're going to need it. Plan? What plan? It's nothing. Hey, Bats, I'll gladly shove some bamboo under his fingernails. That's Guy Gardner, of course. Too bad Booster left. He really had a neat costume. Again, I don't really like the man-child version of Captain Marvel, but, you know, they use him pretty effectively here for a little while. So Booster leaves. He's outside. There's this electric fence keeping people away from the the mountain hideout of the old Justice League that the new league is still using at this point. And he decides to face the press. He goes over to them. Booster, how did you, Mr. Gold, just one question. One at a time, please. Could you tell us? So they're all badgering with questions. And then these slightly suspicious looking people, I mean, guy with white hair and a ponytail, it's bad news in the 80s. They're sneaking around, and they set off like a little explosion here that takes out the security fence. And Booster notices them scrambling towards the headquarters. So what is that all about? So he follows up, powers out inside, the Justice League headquarters. They're getting the power back up. And they see Booster scrambling over the rocks, and they're going, okay, is he trying to prove something? Is he involved with this somehow? And as he gets around the rocks, all right, you guys, hold it right there. Now that really sparkled with originality. It is the Royal Flush Gang, or at least it's a new version of the Royal Flush Gang. Well, 4 members of the Royal Flush Gang. And so a combat will ensue between Booster and them. Now, Booster gets sort of surprised, actually has some blood drawn from a razor-sharp card. Guess this dude was reading the X-Men comics of the time and got the idea from Gambit. Unless he did that before Gambit, which is actually possible. I don't know. So Booster takes off, slugs the guy. We got a little fight going here. And they're trying to get this new defense shield going. Mr. Miracle says, okay, consider it. It's in. It's done. They get that up. And this is kind of an opportunity for them to see Booster Gold in action. And they're going to go out and observe. But Batman says to Gardner, do not get involved at all, or you're going to regret it. I guess maybe they're not so sure they can trust Booster at this point. So we have a pretty good rolling fight scene of him going up against these different guys, using his, he takes a few hits, but he's at a certain point turns his force fields on, and so we get the one lady hits him, the 10 hits him with like a stone, followed up by the Queen with a kick to the back of the head. So he's taking some definite damage here. The King, I believe that's the King, unless it's a Jack. Let's see. Well, either way, pulls this sort of gun on him, this, like a sci-fi looking gun. And as he fires it, Booster Gold takes off, hits the Queen. He starts firing more lethal rounds after he gets his force field up. This is a nice exchange. He comes down after 10. You wouldn't hit a lady, would you? Well, you see, it's like this, Bop. Where I come from, equality of the sexes is a given, so we can hit anyone. Oh, thank you so much for explaining. Nice, but you do notice Bop. You don't actually see him punch her. Because in our time, that was still a little bit of an issue. And frankly, should be. Unless you're talking about the mixed martial arts and stuff. Okay. So that was the last person to take out. He gets a round of applause. He gets a smile from Batman. All right. Does that mean what I'm... Gold, Booster, behind you. What? And behind him is Ace. They didn't see Ace before. Let's get a close-up on this, because it's pretty darn nice. What did we get from Booster? Oh boy. Oh, he's doing like Sam in Quantum Leap. So Ace whacks him hard. Justice League is like, okay, guys, we're going in. But this thing is a robot, and it has been designed to deal with the members of the Justice League. So he has fire projected at the Martian Manhunter. Wild Dog. That's a series I want to get into. I've never read them. I feel as though I missed out. And I love this, where Captain Marvel gets in front of the Martian Manhunter to protect him. He's like, you couldn't even singe my chest hair with that. Not that I have any chest hair, but I'm not going to tell him that. And then, boom, he gets decked because Ace is even more powerful than Captain Marvel. So Guy Gardner is coming in hot. The Black Canary gives him the sonic shock, gets a concussion grenade from Mr. Miracle. He uses his powers to deactivate Mr. Miracle's little floaty discs, flying discs. You know, it's a simple matter to disrupt their gravity nullifying field. A simple matter, but these discs were designed and built on clunk, New Genesis. So in comes Guy Gardner at full speed, and Ace turns himself yellow, and boom, smacks Guy Gardner right into Black Canary. And then he bursts into flames, and he does that on purpose, so that's not a bad thing for him. And he says, how does he put it? It's child's play to defeat you, just as it will be child's play to incinerate you all. In Batman, I wouldn't bet on that. Oh, what does Batman have in mind? Well, what Batman actually has in mind is to distract Ace while Booster Gold comes up from behind, which he does, and he grabs a hold of him. And they've got a little plan cooked up. Now, Beetle, the energy shield, disconnect it. Click, so we see that unplugged, basically. And he flies way up in the sky with Ace. And Booster says to him, confused, aren't you, you big dummy? Whoever made you gave you weapons to take out all the Leaguers. But I'm not a Leaguer, and you're dead meat. And so he drops him, and Blue Beetle is saying, yeah, if this works. I don't get it. How come I'm always the one who's standing around pushing buttons while the rest of these guys hog all the glory? Booster Gold's not even in the league, and he's having more fun than, hey, Beetle, wake up. Push that energy shield up to critical now. So he plugs in the energy shield, and as a result, it activates when Ace is about halfway in and halfway out, and it cuts the robot in half. And from Batman, I'm impressed. And Booster's all like, we did it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Him and Beetle. Oh, wait a minute. Is the partnership forming there? I think the partnership's forming a little bit. He's like, well, maybe it's not so bad standing around pushing buttons. And so he's super excited. And so they do decide, in fact, to bring him into the Justice League. And then they notice there's a press conference going on outside being conducted by Maxwell Lord. And he's saying, as official press liaison of the newly reformed Justice League, it's my pleasure to announce the addition of Booster Gold to our ranks. Our ranks? It seems Maxwell Lord needs to be dealt with, and quickly. Oh, we're going to deal with him, Scott. And when we're done, well, let's just say he's not going to like it. So next issue, the return of Dr. Fate and the mystery of the Gray Man. Look at that. Nice. Okay. So we are advancing the storyline. Dr. Light, at least for the moment, is out. Booster Gold is in. And Maxwell Lord appears to be in as well. Much to everybody's chagrin, Batman is PO'd. That's probably not good for Maxwell Lord. So join us next week for Justice League number 5, and we'll see what comes of all that, and we'll also get to see the return of Dr. Fate. Love that character. And I'd love to hear in the comments what you think of Justice League number 4. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, maybe share with a friend. That would be really, really groovy. We're going to do Justice Leagues every Monday in 2025. I'm excited about it, especially because 2024 was for Alpha Flight. And Alpha Flight, especially towards the end, is a little bit tragic. I'm looking forward to a somewhat happier comic book, a little more comedy this year. I think I could use that break. In the meantime, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. And I will hopefully see you again soon in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. And hopefully with a better voice. Bye-bye.